Patches, I'm depending on you, son, not to play like a PS1. My PS4 has just begun. Titles. Greetings one and all, this is Relevance and welcome to my channel. I haven't been putting up no videos for quite a, well, I wouldn't say quite a while, but for a few days, simply because I'm just getting on with my day job. I've got an album to make. In fact, I've got 3 albums to make. Greatest Hits album, which I'm already got compiled, and a third-party album that I'm making for another producer, and also just thinking about collaborations for my 20th album. So I'm more or less kind of working on my 19th, 20th and 21st studio albums. Yeah, believe it or not. So, you know, so gaming's kind of taking a little bit of a backseat. But yeah, the subject of this video is simply patches, man. I don't understand the fact of why, with all the resources that these game developers has, right, feel the need to rush release their titles if the only thing that's going to happen is for them to implement much needed patches, you know, in future, you know, because I'm pretty much sure that game developers has testers to more or less test out the game prior to release. Now, with the latest patch that Battlefield has, explaining that it's vast and this and that, yeah, that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, if that patch was basically meant for the game to be how it's supposed to be at game launch, I'm not really too much excited about that, because it's like that's just laziness and greed on the part of EA. I'm sorry to say it, but that's how I see it. But don't get me wrong, I still enjoy playing Battlefield. I get more enjoyment playing a broken version of Battlefield 4 than I do get playing a fully functional copy of Call of Duty Ghosts. And I'm just saying that as a lay person who's just got into first-person shooters within the last couple of years. You know, I'm not into this whole fanboy thing, you know. I don't even understand why people use the term fanboy, because if you're a fan of something, you're a fan of something, irrespective of what game it is. So we're all fanboys, but I don't understand that anyway, especially why people use it as an insult. Anyway, for me, Battlefield 4, having the patch that it has now, more or less 9 months after its release, nah, it's kind of piss poor on EA's part, you know, and it's not something I'm really supposed to even really be impressed with. It's what you're supposed to do on the launch of the game to begin with anyway. I don't see why it should have taken this long for you to be addressing the crashing issues, the rubber banding issues, the death round corner issues, and all that kind of stuff, you know, that made some loyal players of the game pissed off. I'm not really surprised that they're pissed off with the game. But anyway, you know, I do like Battlefield and I do come back to it from time to time, which leads me on to this game. Yeah, this game, Destiny. Now, I've purposely put up the credits of the game to simply address this issue. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Destiny and I do like Battlefield, but this is just my burning, niggling notion that I've got in my head right about now. With all these people that you are seeing scrolling up from the bottom to the top of the screen, not one of these people who had a part in developing the game that actually gave us the alpha and the beta. I mean, these guys can be forgiven for the fact that we could only level up to level 8. But even with that, when you do level up past level 8 and past level 20, and you get into strikes and raids and missions and patrols and what have you, and an enemy drops a legendary engram and you take it to the cryptarch, shouldn't it be logical and commonsensical for you to basically get a legendary item of armor? Shouldn't it be logical? If you get a purple engram, you should get a purple item. Green, green, yellow, yellow, blue, blue. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. With all these people here that played some part in the game, surely there must have been one person to say, well, shouldn't legendary engrams be translated or decoded into legendary pieces of armor and the responding pieces of armor according to their color? Which I know was a major headache for a lot of people, which pissed them off to no end, and I do not wrong them at all. But surely one of these dudes that's in this long line of credits should have addressed that. But anyway, I'm asking the question, why can't we just get a game that does what it says on the tin? We're so, companies are so wrapped up in pre-orders and getting money here, there, microtransactions here, there, and everywhere. And it gets to the point where you actually forget about the game and how it's supposed to play on its basic level. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's getting to a point where I'm eradicating the word excite or excited from my vocabulary when it comes to impending releases of future games. I'm no longer going to say that I'm excited, because when I do get excited and I get the game and I have to look at its shortcomings, it just serves as an anticlimax to the point where I'm just pissed off. But I still play the game, nonetheless. But I shouldn't be in that frame of mind to play the game. You know what I mean? I should be enjoying the game and my excitement should be maintained. However, all these game developers seem to basically just forget what gamers look for in a game, which is a game that has a decent story. It doesn't have to have an excellent story, but a decent story, and good mechanics when it comes to shooters, Not have this lazy attitude where, okay, we'll just basically dole the games out there and, if nobody says anything, we ain't gonna fix shit. I don't think $500 million, is something that you can really sniff at, especially when gamers contribute to that amount of money, that huge, obscene amount of money. I don't think it's not a great thing to ask for a game to be the game that is advertised, But anyway, that's my thing about patches. I think patches are relevant when they are relevant, but just a band-aid when you should know better. When you have all these freaking people involved in the game, and it takes a simple layperson, thousands of lay people saying, well, shouldn't a legendary engram be decoded to a legendary piece of freaking costume? To anyone and everyone who helped us ship this game, arming our team in millions of ways, big and small, we say thank you. Yeah. But anyway, I've no more to say about that. As you know, the coup, whatever the game, whatever the format, whatever the genre, happy gaming, that's what it's all about. And please, no more patches, man. Just ship the game as it's supposed to be shipped. Please, thank you. That's all I ask. Anyway, I'm out of here. My God.
Watch the ride.